Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is the big man Boisterous coming to you with some Masters League Magnificence out of Tal'Darim Altar. Down here in the bottom right hand corner of the map we have Arthur spawning in as the red Terran, and up here in the top left we have Glitch spawning in as his opponent, the blue Protoss. As this game would start off, I would just like to say that if you guys notice the game speed shifting, it's because I'm experimenting with ways to capture most of the action of a game without making my videos have to go into two parts. So I'm going to be trying to slow down the game as important things in battles are happening and just keeping it at a 2x pace for the rest of the game. And also, if you guys are wondering why there was no game yesterday, it's because apparently you should not have snowy tree branches above power lines in a society. That doesn't work out well. Who knew? I didn't know. Apparently the power companies didn't know. So I've spent the last 2 days without power, and I have not been able to get you guys your juicy StarCraft 2 action. Anyway, we have Glitch going for fairly standard builds. Actually, both of them are going for fairly standard builds. We do have a gas steel coming out for Glitch, which is definitely a good choice on this map, because you want to limit the ability of the Terran to tank as much as possible, because your bases are just so easy for tech units to get at them. For example, siege tanks right here will absolutely demolish your worker line. This base will become a non-base if there are workers down here, or tanks down there. Also, drops are pretty strong on this map. We do have a command center building out for Arthur, so he is going to take an early economic lead. Glitch is getting his Nexus as well, but it's going to be about a full minute behind, which is perfectly fine. If you're the Protoss player at this point, you can really just focus on your tech and you'll be fine. And he's going for a Twilight Council, and he doesn't have a forge up, so I'm thinking DTs, I'd have to say, are probably going to be what's coming out of this Twilight Council. I can't know for sure, but I don't think DTs are going to be that effective on a map like this where there's two orbitals down. I mean, unless all the scan energy gets wasted on mules. Oh, and actually, it's a Templar Archives. He's going for high Templars. He's high Templar rushing. That's actually one of the more entertaining strategies I've seen crop up lately, is that people are just getting a really early Templar Archives because Psystorm is a really good ability. And why not get it? And we do have a scan going down revealing absolutely nothing, actually. I'm not sure if that was the optimal place to scan. I don't think he caught sight of that High Templar right at the tail end of that scan. But we do have 3 High Templar coming out, so this is gonna be 3 storms at least when he hits the base. Maybe even 4 if one of them can get over 150 energy. I don't think it's gonna be 4, but it's a possibility. And I think that Arthur is going to be able to hold this, but definitely not without losses. I think that if Glitch had an observer, it would be a lot more effective, because I think the casting range on Psystorm does allow you to hit this worker. It does allow you to basically do what siege tanks do and hit the worker line. But we do have 4 High Templar, and the High Templar are sadly just walking into the bunker. Some of them did get the Archon morph off, and are they going to kill this bunker? No! The SCVs do get out to the front. He did lose a lot of units though. Let's just open up the workers killed. He lost 7 workers and 24 units. That's a pretty substantial loss, and we do have both of our players just complimenting each other on their offense and defensive capabilities. And we have Arthur, going for a Ghost Academy, which is definitely the right move in a position like this, because Ghost Academies are really good against High Templar, because the EMP is just so effective against both High Templar and Archons, because the EMP does 200 damage to shields, which is essentially 2/3 of an Archon's life. It's 2/3 of an Archon's life right there. Let me just check that real fast. 100 damage to shields, which is still, again, 1/3 of an Archon's life. And Archons with no shields are essentially 10 health units, and that makes them glass cannons. We do have Arthur coming in with a move in, but he does get stormed, and that was a pretty nice storm. These medevacs are going to essentially have no energy. Oh, and the Ghost gets feedbacked. Oh, man, not a good situation for Arthur to be in, as his entire unit is probably going to get cleaned up here. Oh, but Glitch actually doesn't want to push his luck. He's happy with getting a couple of nice storms off, and he's just going to back off. Which is an interesting choice. I'm not quite sure if it's the right choice, but it's definitely, it's not the wrong choice, I'd have to say. Because if there had been a second ghost waiting there, he would have died. I think he would have just absolutely gotten demolished by ghost EMPs at this point. We do have a really heavy bio army coming out, and one lone ghost that has just enough energy where if he gets feedbacked, he'll die. So I don't know what's gonna go on right here. This is a lot of zealots, actually. This is a very zealot Archon heavy build with only 3 stalkers and a backbone of High Templar that can just absolutely demolish an opponent's army. And we do finally have Colossus coming out, plus level 2 armor and weapons. And what sort of upgrades is our Terran buddy at? He's at 1-1, so this 2-2 is actually going to absolutely demolish him. And the ghost does get fed back into death. We do have a second ghost here. I'm not sure. It did get a feedback off. Or it did get an EMP off on actually a lot of units, but it just wasn't quite enough. As the High Templar miraculously survives charging the lines. Not quite what you want to do with your High Templar, but he lived. It's all good. It's all good. We do have a lot of zealots popping out. He's up to 5 gate production. He's gone up to double Robo actually, so he's going to get double Colossus production pretty soon. And double Colossus production basically wrecks bio, especially if he keeps going. Actually, he's going for a very Marauder heavy build right now. He's getting 4 Marauders and 2 Marines at a time. So most of his barracks are now on tech labs, and I expect him to get basically every barracks he pumps out now to be on a tech lab to help him deal with those pesky Colossus. Because Marauders are really good against Colossus, because the Colossus splash damage, like, it still does a whole lot of damage. It's just not nearly as effective as it is versus Marines, where the Colossus splash 3 shots Marines, despite their upgrades. And we do have 3-3 coming out from the Protoss, and as soon as that 3-3 finishes, I think the game's gonna end, no matter what. I mean, the Terran's about to get his armor level 2, but Protoss is already on 2-2 upgrades, which is really what you want if you go for such a gateway heavy build. And we have the planetary going down, and a couple of really nice storms actually are going to allow the Protoss to clean this up. That's pretty impressive. As his zealots just finished out the job for him. He's not, this isn't going to continue. I mean, these zealots are going to get cleaned up, but that was a pretty big win for the Protoss, despite losing his entire army. And then there was another beautiful storm right there that's going to cause the Medivacs to use all of their remaining energy to just heal up the units, and it means that there's going to be no healing when the actual battle starts, which is going to be really bad. And we do have mass DTs coming out and morphing into Archons, which is definitely a good choice. I don't think there's any detection with this army, but if you just put all of your eggs into a DT basket, I think you would still lose. We do have the Vikings getting rid of the Colossus, but at this point, Glitch does not need the Colossus. There's very little income for Arthur, and he just actually got most of his workers at his main cleaned up by his Zealot drop. So we do have a Raven finally coming out, and there's a couple of DTs run over here to try to check out what's going on. They are both going to get sniped, but again, at this point, it does not really matter because 3-3 is done for him. And his army is essentially a wrecking ball of doom, as all of his zealots do 11 damage times 2, and they have 4 armor. Zealots with 3-3 upgrades are essentially tanks. Like, they will absolutely destroy everything, and if they have charge, just forget about it. They will steamroll through your army. And the Colossus with 21 splash damage, it's just going to, it's not going to be pretty at this point, especially because the Protoss army is just so much bigger. It's 146 supply to 57 supply, so there's really no force for the Terran. And we do have the mass DTs coming in and denying the third. And with a denied third, you're not going to do anything. And Arthur does call the GG, and Glitch GG's out as well. So anyway, guys, if you want more Boisterous action, head on over to youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2 and check out my channel there. Remember to subscribe and tell all of your friends, all of your family, all of the people that you raffle stomp on the ladder all day long about Boisterous, and to send them on over to my YouTube channel. Also, you guys can send in any games that you want commentated to boisteroussc2@gmail.com. Anyway, guys, this is Boisterous signing out.